Now, remember the night we could not figure out, or there was some confusion as to where, I don't know who we were talking with. We were talking about a dress to the nines.
Yes.
When somebody goes out and they dress up spiffy, and we said they're dressed to the nines, and I said to somebody, you know where that comes from? And somebody wrote in and says it comes from something about the number 9 iron in the golf bag. Not true. Had a letter? In case you're interested, this is a little educational
Yeah, I
feature.
think it's good to do this. From time to time, it's good to do this. It's kind of a clearinghouse. Catching up with the past.
So to speak, yes. This came from Alan R. Jones of the London Pipe and Gift Shop. 826 West Lancaster Boulevard in Lancaster or Lancaster? Lancaster, California, right? I guess it was in England to be...
Lancaster.
Lancaster. Thank you very much. Your lordship.
Like Worcestershire.
He says, thought you might like to know the origin... What?
It's like Worcestershire.
No,
You
Lancaster.
don't say Worcester, you say Worcestershire.
Well, in England.
Yeah,
You do. That has nothing to do with Lancaster.
Well, there's a Lancaster, Pennsylvania. That's how they say it, Lancaster.
But they say Lancaster, California.
But it's up to them.
How does Worcestershire come into this? You don't say Worcestershire, is that what...
No, it's how, when you look at it, you want to say Worcestershire, but it's Worcestershire.
I know that.
Yeah.
Or it can be Worcestershire.
Could be originally. Maybe it was, many years ago. In Chaucer's time.
What's Chaucer have to do with this?
In Chaucer's time, they pronounced the words pretty much the way they looked. Like you would say shoppy, you would say shoppy. You would pronounce the E on the end of shoppy.
I doubt that.
Well, that's...
How do
Check
you
with
know?
Jeffrey.
Were you there? You weren't
I
there.
was
How
not
do you know
there.
they said shoppy?
No.
They spelled it that way, but I doubt if they said, hey, we're going to the shoppy. They just took the E off and we lost
I met
the
a
E.
girl once in the service that knew all those things.
All right. Anyway, this man has died since we had read his name. He's an old man now living somewhere.
What do he write?
Alan Jones Wright. We taught you. No, he didn't. Thought you might like to know the origin of the expression dress to the nines. It is an English term used that goes back to the 30s when most cinema seats cost sixpence or sixpence. If one wanted to give a good impression taking out a date, or perhaps just to show off to your friends sitting down below in the cheaper stalls, you would perhaps put on your best whistle and flute, which is Cockney for suit, and be dressed to the nines. These were the better seats way back of the cheap sixpennies. Sixpence and ninepenny seats, of course, went out during World War II. Now a cinema seat in England will cost £1. So if you were impressing somebody, you would take the more expensive 9-pence seats. Therefore, you were
Dressed to the nines. Now you'd be dressed to the pounds.
Oh, so. Still don't think they said shoppy. I remember Chaucer when I was in high school. I was pretty racy stuff.
Oh, it was.
The Miller's Tale.
Oh, boy. It's the best we had.
Yes, we didn't have much of that stuff. And he sent along, Mr. Jones, a glossary of British terms for Americans on how to speak English. Now, some of these you are familiar with, but I was not. For example, a biscuit in England is a cracker here, right? You know what a bit dicey means?
No.
If things are a bit dicey?
Difficult.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Difficult is quite right. Yes, thank you. You are that is Chaucer sitting up there himself.
Old Jeff.
Obviously, you are from England, sir, right?
No, sir, I'm from France.
May I see your papers, sir? I mean, has quite a...
Yes, he does.
All right. Yes, that's right. A bit
say
touch and go, difficult. Touch and go,
touch and go,
difficult.
yes,
Right. How about? I'll give you one here. You probably do not know. Digs, you know, is a home or where you live. Dressed to the nines, all dressed up. Gone for a Burton. Anybody knows what that means?
Taken leave.
Disappeared. You're right.
Yeah.
I'll get it right.
Right. Now for the trip to Mexico and the Samsonite luggage. You have 15 seconds, sir. And no coaching from the audience. This is for this gentleman. Having a Barney.
Having a row.
What did he say?
Having a row.
You're right!
You're right!
Where is it?
Beautiful. He'll make a great guest host.
Tomorrow we're going to have French expressions as explained by an Englishman who will be here.
Having
That's
a
wonderful.
Barney.
Having a barn, yes, that's having a squabble, having a row,
Yeah.
whatever. Wonderful, okay.